Sympathetic vibration is a well-known topic in engineering. Although it's not used very much, it is very well known about, has been known about for 200 years or longer. John Keely got into the middle of his vibration research.
Imagine a world where energy flows from the simplest things around us. A world where water and air alone could power every home, every factory, and every dream. No bills, no smoke, no wires stretching across cities. It sounds impossible. Yet in the late 1800s, one bold inventor claimed he had already opened that door. His name was John Ernst Worrell Keely. He stood before crowds with a strange device he said could pull endless power from vibrations hiding inside water. Today we travel back into his world to explore the machine, the dream, and the mystery that still refuses to fade. The Inventor. John Keely was a man who lived between science and showmanship. Before he became an inventor, he worked in circuses as a musician and a carnival barker. These early jobs taught him how to perform, how to grab attention, and how to build excitement. But behind the showman was a restless thinker who believed the universe was built on hidden tones and unseen rhythms. Keely called his ideas vibratory physics, a field he created and defended with passion. He believed sound was not just something you heard. He believed sound could unlock forces inside matter. He often held tuning forks to explain these theories. He said everything in nature vibrated at its own frequency. If you matched that frequency, you could release incredible power. Some people listened with curiosity. Others rolled their eyes, but Keely spoke with such certainty that many felt drawn to him. In his small workshop, he built pipes, spheres, valves, and coils. He arranged them like a musician arranges instruments. Each part had a purpose. Each part held a tone. He claimed that when these tones aligned, they produced a force greater than steam. He believed water and air could be shaken in such a way that an etheric energy would burst free. To him, this energy was the true engine of the universe. He said every drop of water was a battery waiting to be tapped. This idea inspired young dreamers who wanted a cleaner world. Factories of the time filled cities with thick smoke. Coal dust coated streets and lungs. Keely's message sounded like hope. He promised a future where energy flowed freely. He promised a future ruled by harmony, not pollution. His supporters saw him as a genius before his time. The machine. Keely's machine carried many names. Some called it the Liberator. Others preferred the hydronic pneumatic or vibrating generator. No matter the name, the device drew attention. To onlookers, it looked like something from a novel. A heavy iron frame held a round brass drum decorated with valves and pressure gauges. Wires twisted around the base. Tubes snaked across the top. The machine seemed alive. Keely always kept its inner parts hidden from view. He said the world was not ready to see the full design. This secrecy added mystery and suspicion, but it also made the machine feel more magical. Keely said the drum held a mix of water and air tuned to very specific tones. When the machine vibrated at the right frequency, the water molecules separated. They released a new kind of energy. He called this etheric force. Witnesses claimed the device produced incredible power. Keely often boasted that a single water bottle could drive a locomotive for half a continent. He said 1 gallon could push a giant steamship across the Atlantic. If these claims were real, the machine would outperform every power plant alive today. It would produce energy on a level no scientist of his time could explain. People who attended demonstrations described the machine powering small dynamos. They said it turned gears with surprising ease. It made wheels spin so fast they blurred. The idea captured imaginations everywhere. Imagine charging your phone or your gaming computer with a hose connected to your sink. That was the feeling Keely sold. Free power forever. Journalists wrote wide-eyed stories about his invention. They described a world where families heated their homes at no cost. They wrote of factories running without coal. They imagined cities glowing with free electricity. Keely encouraged these dreams. He promised his technology would become the backbone of modern life. And the more he promised, the more people wanted to see it with their own eyes. The demonstrations. Keely knew how to put on a show. His demonstrations became legendary. He would wheel his device into a room full of investors, scientists, and curious visitors. He tapped tuning forks. He slid levers. He twisted valves. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the machine began to hum. Strange things followed. Iron bars bent as if they were rubber. Ropes snapped apart like threads. Metal discs spun so fast they blurred into circles. In one shocking demonstration, Keely fired bullets without gunpowder. The bullets pierced wooden planks as if pushed by an invisible hand. Crowds gasped. The newspapers rushed to print the stories. In another show, heavy globes suspended from wires spun wildly. They swung in perfect circles, driven by some unseen force. Keely placed sealed water bottles on a table. They lifted from the surface and floated for seconds. People could not understand how this was possible. Cameras of the time captured some of these events in grainy images. These photos only fueled more wonder. Scientists questioned physics. They said the laws of energy and motion could not explain these displays. They argued that sound waves alone lacked the strength to twist iron. But visitors insisted they saw it happen. They described the machine's hum and the sudden impossible motions around the room. Skeptics believed Keely used hidden pumps or compressed air. They searched his workshop. They examined the floors and walls. They looked for secret tubes and valves. But no one ever proved anything. And that lack of proof kept the legend alive. More people came to see his demonstrations. Some arrived doubting him. Many left as believers. The money and the threat. As Keely's fame grew, so did the money behind him. Wealthy investors poured millions into the Keely Motor Company. Businessmen from New York, Philadelphia, and beyond bought shares. They believed they were funding a revolution. Newspapers compared Keely to Edison. People whispered that he had discovered the next great leap in technology. But fame has a price. Major oil and coal companies began to worry. Keely's machine threatened the foundation of their power. If free energy became real, their profits would collapse. Rumors spread that these companies wanted Keely stopped. Some newspapers that once praised him suddenly published harsh criticism. Articles questioned his science and mocked his ideas. Keely's workshop became the center of strange events. He claimed mysterious visitors came at night. He said parts of his machine were damaged or stolen. He spoke of wires cut and gears jammed. Every time he prepared a major demonstration, something went wrong. Lights flickered, motors stalled, valves clogged without explanation. Supporters believed he was under attack. They said industries feared his invention. They said powerful men would do anything to protect their empires. Doubters argued that Keely was simply running out of excuses. The pressure grew. Investors demanded results. Scientists demanded proof. Newspapers demanded answers. Keely continued to insist he needed more time. He said he would reveal everything when the machine was truly ready. But time was running out, and his enemies, real or imagined, were closing in. The collapse. The breaking point arrived in 1885. Investors demanded a full demonstration. They wanted to see the inner workings of the machine. Keely refused. He said the world would misuse his secret. He said knowledge is dangerous in the wrong hands. But his backers insisted. They wanted transparency. They wanted certainty. In a moment no one expected, Keely grabbed a sledgehammer. He swung it into his machine. Pipes shattered, gauges snapped, brass parts flew across the floor. The audience froze in shock. Some thought he had gone mad, others thought he was protecting something too powerful to reveal. This dramatic act made headlines. Some claimed it exposed him as a fraud who had no real invention. Others believed he was fighting unseen enemies who wanted his idea destroyed. The courts soon became involved. Investors accused Keely of deception. Keely defended himself with passion. He said he was close to completing his work. He said he needed freedom from pressure. The lawsuits dragged on for years. The press mocked him. Scientific groups dismissed him. But Keely still worked in private. He promised one last great demonstration, a final proof that everything he claimed was true. But that moment never came. Instead of revealing a working machine, he destroyed another one. This time there was no crowd, no loud reaction, only silence. The dream crumbled. Investors walked away. The workshop emptied. The legend dimmed. Keely died in 1898 from kidney disease. He was only 61. Some said he whispered a piece of the secret before passing, but no one understood it. He left behind no final notes, no complete plans, only fragments of a machine and a story that refused to fully die. Keely's life remains one of the most puzzling tales in invention history. Was he a genius who touched a hidden force of nature? Or a skilled performer who convinced himself his fantasy was real? His machine promised endless power, but left only questions. Some say he failed to finish his work. Others believe he was silenced by powerful interests. Today, his device sits in museums, dusty and silent, a symbol of ambition and mystery. Whether myth or misunderstood science, the Keely story asks us to look beyond the surface and wonder how far our dreams can reach when we dare to believe.